Well, welcome to Wise Builders Live. I'm here in the Long Path Studio, podcast studio with my friend Orlando.
Hey, how are you?
Welcome, everybody. I know it's been a couple weeks since we've been live, but we've had a lot going on. We've had a couple of emergency surgeries in the family and just some wild things, but everybody's good. Everybody's doing well. And I wanted to jump in the studio as soon as we could and do this live for you guys today. We're building an online business. I started this journey, Orlando, probably, well, it's been about 12 months ago.
Yeah.
And it really started with a heart for me to serve authors who thought that just getting a book deal would be enough to give them a business or to
Mhm.
make a living. And I've had two traditional publishing deals, and then I've also done two self-publishing
Yeah.
deals. And the thing that I learned about traditional publishing is, first of all, if you don't have a self-publishing platform, you like reduce your chances of getting a book deal by like 95%.
Hmm.
If you don't have an audience, if you don't have an email list, if you don't have a self-publishing platform, it's almost impossible to get a deal in this market. However, secondly, if you got a traditional publishing deal, they are really going to help you with uh, getting your book across the finish line, the cover, the editing, the formatting, all of that stuff. And they're even going to help you with distribution.
Yeah.
But once your book is launched, and it either they may get you on a few podcasts, maybe a couple of television shows, some interviews, that type of thing. But once your book is launched, they move on to all the other books that they're doing the same thing with.
Exactly.
And you're just sitting there like, how in the world am I going to make
Mhm.
a living now? Like that, the it's over.
Yep.
And the only thing that can give people longevity is they need to know how to capitalize on what to do with a book. A book is only one piece of the puzzle. And
Exactly.
so I wanted to take my 10 years of experience as an author, and I wanted to be able to serve people with the knowledge I have to make sure that they didn't get disappointed like I did, or to make the same mistakes that I did, and for me to show them what to do to build their self-publishing platform. So if that leads to a book deal, great, but they'll still have a platform that can give them longevity with their book. That's where it started.
Yeah.
And then I realized, oh my gosh, you know, I want to help authors, but what we're really talking about on capitalizing on top of a book is we're talking about the world of digital products.
Mhm.
And that's what birthed Wise Builders business community was. Okay, I can help authors, but I can help people in general take their knowledge, their passion, their wisdom, and translate it into digital products. And it's one of the fastest growing markets in the world. It's about to be $100 billion industry of people who are willing to come off the path of conventional wisdom and take their knowledge and their passion and put it inside of an ebook, put it inside of a course, put it
Yeah.
inside of a school community. And we've got this amazing opportunity right now
Mhm.
in the market to do that. And I'm like, I want to help people
Yeah.
break out of poverty and break free from the 9 to 5 rat race and break free from the trading hours for dollars, living paycheck to paycheck, and teach them how to make thousands of dollars. And once everything's set up, this is so wild. There is a lot of work up front.
Mhm.
I'm not trying to act like there's no work, but once it's set up, you really can make 6, 7, and I know people making 8 figures now who are maybe spending 5 to 10 hours a week on their business,
Yeah.
which is insane.
Mhm.
And so we've now launched Wise Builders Business Community. And if you've been watching these lives, if you've been watching my YouTube channel and you have not signed up, what in the world are you doing?
Come on.
Like many of you that have known me for years in the ministry, you've trusted my voice concerning the gospel, concerning spiritual teaching. Like, I would not be giving you this message, and I would not be on YouTube and Facebook and doing all of this content if I didn't believe it could help you. So I'm giving the invitation to you one more time. Join Wise Builders Business Community. There's a link for it under this video in the description below. And make sure you sign up today, guys. There's incredible opportunities. And also, there's a link below. I give you a free webinar that explains the entire process of what it means to launch a digital product. And then after that webinar, I give you a special offer for you to join Wise Builders Business Community. So if you want to take that free webinar, or if you just want to jump right in, both links are listed below. We'd love to have you in the community. And Orlando, who is he's a guest, but he's really not a guest. He's helping me build this out. Um, you know, Orlando has launched a course with he's launched a course himself, but he's also done a special course for us inside of Wise Builders Business Community. OJ has 20 plus years of experience in hospitality, everything from Ritz Carlton to Disney. I'm giving you a little intro here.
Yeah.
and has amazing content when it comes to hospitality. But what a lot of people don't recognize is hospitality translates into the digital space.
Absolutely.
And so that's what I want to share. I want OJ to share with us today is just a little more insight on that whole thing of hospitality in this digital age.
Absolutely. And I think it's very important to understand that hospitality is not about hotels. It's not about just serving guests. Hospitality taps into emotional intelligence, taps into nostalgia, taps into the psychology of sales.
Mm,
There's so many things that hospitality taps into that if you incorporate it into your business, it could change completely the way that people sees you, sees your brand, and
mhm,
sees how you can serve them,
mhm.
right? Because ultimately, hospitality is about serving, and any business should be about serving people.
Right.
If you don't have that mindset, your business will never prosper the way it should.
That's right.
If you see it as a selling a product one at a time, instead of serving a community with products, plural,
Mhm.
that can they can keep coming to you and buying from you because they trust you, because they feel safe with you, because they feel welcomed. All those feelings come through hospitality, and that's why we created this course. It's called Mastering Digital Hospitality for Business, and it's in Wise Builders right now. You can go see it all, and there's an ebook that you can get to get even deeper into these things, and all this is accessible and available through Wise Builders right now. Now, I want to tell a little story that I had. I was talking to a businessman, and he said, "Why is hospitality useful for my business?" He said, "I don't see it. Like, I don't see why this is so important. Why you're trying to sell me into this?" And I said, "I'm not trying to sell you this, but I want you to think about one thing. Companies like Disney, Apple, Marriott, they spend millions of dollars in hospitality trainings, in training their employees on how to deal with crisis management, on how to build their brand, on how to make the people feel welcome in the environment. And that's all hospitality."
Mhm.
I asked this businessman, "Well, what do you do right now for business?" And he said, "Well, I'm doing ads on social media and it's getting me clients and I'm selling." And I said, "But how many of those clients are coming back? Like, are they buying from you other products that you have, or are they trying to seek for you or value your brand?" He said, "Well, no, I'm just selling one product at a time." And I said, "That's why you need hospitality.
Yeah.
Because if you get all those clients, all those email lists, all those phone numbers, and you start creating an environment when they feel welcome, then you don't have to keep paying for ads. Your intentionality since day one will create your clients, will create your customers, will create that trust that they need to come and buy from you the same way that they go to Target, that they go to Walmart, that they go to any of these big stores because they already done that job.
Right, right.
Like when you need something, you're not thinking, "Oh, what supermarket should I go?" No, you think automatically Walmart. Why? Because you can find everything that you need in there, because you know that they're probably going to have the best price. Not always, but probably they're going to have the best price. It automatically comes into mind because their marketing is so intentional into you understanding that what they're set, what you need is going to be there.
Yeah.
that you don't even have to think about it.
Right.
So why can't you do the same thing for your product, for your service, and create that feeling that tells people, well, this is where I need to go. Let me
Right.
search here first.
Right. Right.
And that's what hospitality do through emotional intelligence and sales psychology.
Yeah, that's really good. The word that keeps coming up as you and I, we've done a few sessions together.
Yeah.
The word that keeps coming up as it relates to hospitality is the word intentionality,
Yeah,
which
absolutely.
which means in the like you creating a digital product is like just step one.
Absolutely.
But what comes along with that, like basically hospitality creates the ecosystem that surrounds your digital products so that people want to stay,
Yeah.
so that people thrive. They feel like that they belong. And so, the way, like, I'll kind of share it this way: the way that I show hospitality in my business is by the intentionality that I put in my content
Yeah.
on social media. So it's like I want them to get incredible value from what I'm doing, and I'm serving them. I'm
Hmm.
showing up for them at least 3 times a week through my very intentional process of reels or short form video,
Yeah.
and I'm giving them 60 to 90 seconds of intense value,
Hmm.
and then inviting them into my community to teach digital entrepreneurship. And then, but it doesn't just stop with social media content.
Hmm.
Then there's another act of hospitality that I create, which is my emails, my
Yes.
weekly email,
Hmm.
my intentional emails that I create. And I am giving more value to these people that are becoming part of my audience, and I'm serving them again. So if they get on my social media, I'm there serving. If they sign up for my email list, I'm there serving. And at all these points, if we use the hotel analogy, like my social media stands as my greeters and people that are
Absolutely.
operating there at the counter to check
Hmm.
in and check out people. But then my emails is like house cleaning,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
housekeeping, and they're coming in and there's just all these different touch points, and it takes all of that not only to make a sale, but it takes all that to keep a customer. And
Yes.
it's far easier. This is why hospitality is important.
Hmm.
Is it's far easier to sell to a customer that has already bought from you than it is to acquire a new one.
Exactly.
And hospitality is what keeps people loyal to your brand.
Yes, absolutely.
And at the end of the day, man, just as a Jesus follower, we're both believers
Yeah.
in Jesus. It's like that's our ultimate call though, is
Hmm.
to serve our generation, to serve
Yes.
and love our neighbor that's right in front of us. And we have something in this digital product business that can really help people and change people's lives. So why would we not want to serve?
Exactly.
And why would we not want to give a value exchange? When I serve my community, I'm upgrading the world. I'm
Absolutely.
I'm upgrading people's thinking, I'm
Hmm.
upgrading people's, the way they think about life, and I am perpetuating kindness and service, which makes humanity better, and everybody has to do their part.
And this is a thing that some people understand. There's so many people out there right now looking for a coach,
Mhm.
for a life coach, for a business coach, for any kind of a coaching
Yep.
because they crave knowledge. And
Mhm.
this is what you're giving them through Wise Builders. You're
Mhm.
giving them that knowledge. And that is probably your biggest act of hospitality for your business, and is to serve them with that knowledge. And we need to do this in every business.
Mhm.
You know, it doesn't matter if you're selling socks or you're selling lawyer services, whatever it is that you're selling, it has to start with that desire of serving.
That's right.
And that desire of serving comes from your hospitality, even if you don't realize it.
That's right.
And more importantly, the way that we use that intentionality that we're talking about to make that business prosper is what actually is going to make that business prosper.
That's right.
Because unless you put in the time, the work, and the intentionality to create all these things that are going to bring you that success, it's not going to happen. But I was thinking, Like, how can I translate even this better for people who don't understand what hospitality is? Because shockingly, I found people that don't know what hospitality is.
Sure.
So the best way that I could tell you hospitality is the same way when you receive your family at your house. How you want to make them feel when they come to your house.
Right.
You want to make them feel at home. You want to cook for them.
Mhm.
You want to prepare a room for them. You want to just be there, give them your time.
Mhm.
And it's that exact same thing for your business.
Yes.
You need to, as Walt Disney said, you need to give for free as much as you can give them. Why? Because he knew that the more he gave, the more he was going to receive.
Right.
Because people see giving as giving value and time and money, but giving is further than that. Giving is that intentionality to make somebody else feel like they can get something out of you that is equally interesting and valuable to them.
Yeah.
Because you can give them your time, you can give them money, you can give them anything. But if that intentionality is not there, they're not going to feel it. And it's that feeling what you're trying to give. It's not anything else. It's the feeling that they feel heard, that they feel welcome, that they feel this is what I need, even if there's 100 more people selling the same thing as you're selling.
True.
The difference between Apple computers and Microsoft is one. And it's that feeling that they feel when they get a computer. They feel, oh, I can do whatever I need to do in this computer, and it's not going to get viruses, and it's not going to crash, and it's going to last me for years. I don't have to buy a new computer next year. Why? Because that is what they built.
Yeah, that's right.
And that feeling is what make people spend $2,500 on a computer on Apple versus 500 on a Microsoft.
True.
And that's the same thing with everything. Now with iPhones, what we do, we spend $1,100 on an iPhone. Why? Because we know it's gonna give us the same exact feeling.
Right.
And that's why they dominate business. And if you don't understand that all that started with that feeling of intentionality, of serving, of creating that uniqueness,
Mhm.
then you won't understand why they dominate the business as they do.
Yeah, that's right.
Let's go with another company. Let's do Coca-Cola. Why you buy a Coke? Is it just for the taste, or is the feeling that that taste reminds you of?
Mhm.
For generations now, families are been buying sodas, but why they keep choosing Coke is not only the taste, it's the nostalgia of remembering sharing Coke with meals, with family, in important events. Everything that is surrounding those emotions, that they have conquered that sales psychology that keeps bringing us back to buy another Coke or
Yeah.
another Coke product
Yeah.
is the same thing. It's all based in hospitality. It's all based on serving. It's all based on nostalgia and that intentionality of selling us something without even trying.
Yeah. It's interesting that, like, as I've followed different people online that are serving in different ways, but
Hmm.
they're in the digital product space. The people that I'm most impressed with are the people who I know have obsessed with solving my problems. So
Exactly.
so it's like it's wild. Like, when you follow certain creators, you're like, they create a resource for you, or they create a social media post, and you're like, oh my gosh, like, I didn't even think about
Hmm.
that way, and
Hmm.
I didn't realize how much how helpful that could be. They had already thought about my problems enough that they created a solution for something that I didn't even really realize, number 1, was a problem, number 2, how powerful that resource would be to help me leverage my business. And it's like, real hospitality is really obsessing over someone else's problems, and until you provide such valuable solutions, they can't help but to buy from you.
Exactly.
But that hospitality is all about intentionality and being obsessed with serving
Hmm.
the person that's in your niche.
Yeah,
Bottom line.
that's it. And it's like what you're saying right now. Why the Ritz Carlton is probably the best hotel you can stay at? Because they have thought over and over how you want to feel when you get out of your house. First, you want to feel at home away from home.
Yes.
Second, you want to feel safe. Third, you want to feel like you have everything that you need. You have a nice bed, you have a nice TV, you have a space that you can make yours, even if you're at work, even if you're on vacation. You have all the amenities. You
Yep.
got a spa, you got a huge pool, you're probably in front of the beach. And all those things are well thought in advance by people who are trying to serve you in that way. So when you get out of your home, you feel like you're gonna be at the best place to relax. You're gonna
Right.
be at the best place to just enjoy a time away from home. And that makes you don't even think about how much money you're gonna spend.
Right.
Because when you think about that problem in such a way, in such intentionality, you don't think, oh, this is too expensive. No, it's exactly what I need right now. Here's my wallet.
Yeah.
And that's what these big companies are doing. They're creating products, they're creating services that you don't think how much it's going to cost. You don't
Mhm.
think like the value is there. So money is not an issue.
Right, right.
And that's the thing when you speak about these other creators, they're finding value, thinking in advance, thinking, but what else people can encounter? What other problems, what other situations can prevent them from doing what we're doing?
Right.
And that's what they're making easy for you. And that's why you see the value. And that's why, even unconsciously, you're already making a decision because that's part of sales psychology is anticipating needs and being proactive about them.
Mhm.
And if we can master that in whatever it is that we're doing, then we have half the way done because solving the problem is probably the most important part of any business.
Right.
It's not only serving but serving well, right? Because
Mhm.
you can have the heart to serve, but if you don't have the solution, then you're just doing half the work.
Right.
But finding that solution, thinking in advance, what other issues, what other things I can add into this value that people can see it, and even starting your competition. Like I think it's very important. One of the things that you teach in Wise Builders, and that is finding your niche,
Mhm.
because the more specialized you become in your niche, the more intentional, the more thorough you become in your niche, you can dominate better than other people.
Oh, for sure.
Because some people don't do the work in terms of why am I choosing this niche? Why am I going deep in this? You know, you probably have the experience, you probably have a great insight into a subject or product,
Sure.
but unless you become an expert, unless you become better than others in the way you're selling it, in unless you become more intentional than others in how you're selling it, that's what is going to differentiate you from any other person. And I think that's a big part of being hospitable, and that's that visionary mindset that you create in yourself, because
Mhm.
mindset is key here.
Yes.
And that vision, what you're seeing through your lens, that can help you become more thorough in your own niche, is what actually make you more hospitable than others,
Right.
because you're going to create an environment where you're already solving a problem and you're giving people value through that. And I think that's a huge part on what we're trying to say here. You know, hospitality to me, like the first company that I worked for, the Ritz Carlton, they taught me so much. But one thing I understand about them, they knew they were the best and they communicated that to everybody else.
Mhm.
And that's the thing. You could be the best at something, but if you don't communicate it well, then you're not doing your job.
It's true.
But that's what they did. They knew they were the best. They knew their guests knew they were the best. There was no question about it. And they have that reputation. So whoever stays at many hotels know that if you go to a Ritz Carlton, is the best place you're gonna be. You're gonna be taken care of. You're gonna have the best service in the world. You're gonna have the best restaurants, the best amenities. Everything's gonna be taken care of for you. And that's what you really want when you go out.
And what qualifies them to be the best is the intentionality and hospitality that
Yes,
they've put into their business. So they're
absolutely.
not the best because just because of sales and
Hmm.
statistics, although that is there,
Yeah.
but it's because they know that they've covered their bases to serve and show hospitality in every area of their business. I'm talking about from the time you pull your car up to a Ritz
Hmm.
Carlton to the time you check out. It's excellence after excellence after excellence with how everything is handled. So, what makes them the best is they know they've showed up well to serve people well. And we're like, this is the amazing thing about digital products is and social media and the world that we live in right now
Yeah.
is anybody can break into the market and start showing up and serving people in
Hmm.
their niche. Like there are companies out there, like right now, Disney, Walt Disney, uh, they have leadership training
Yeah.
and things that they do and that they sell, which is high ticket offers to sell people on leadership, creativity, all those things. Well, because of social media and because of the digital age, I can now compete with
Hmm.
somebody as big as Disney.
Absolutely.
And here's what's wild. When I started this journey uh just a year ago, I've been selling digital products for a long time, but I'm saying since I started coaching on it, I was like, man, who is going to buy like something for 50 bucks a month or who's going to buy a $197 course or, it was like, man, I hope somebody will. Now, in just 1 year's time, because I've learned to serve well, I've put hospitality in and intentionality into the business.
Yeah.
Now I'm able to charge the same price as Disney would, and people will pay me several thousands of dollars to coach them
Hmm.
in the process of launching a digital product. Like that's the opportunity that we live in is if you have a social media account, you can immediately start implementing hospitality towards your niche, towards your particular niche and ideal customer avatar. You can start showing up, solving their problems, giving them solutions, showing hospitality. And in a matter of no time, you can go from someone who had nothing to offer because you just weren't putting any content out
Yeah.
to now that you've been consistent with content and now you're showing up and solving people's problems. Now they're like, if I got so much value from you out of this free content, I'd gladly pay you
Hmm.
for your products. And
Absolutely.
it's like, that's the opportunity that's present. And all you have to have is a heart to serve people with your knowledge and your passion. That's it. And
Hmm.
I love that you bring up the whole, probably the most powerful thing that we teach in Wise Builders Business Community is picking a niche.
Yeah.
It's vital because it it helps you with the entire trajectory of your business. Second to that is we teach people how to write an ebook
Hmm.
whether they're a writer or not. I can show somebody that can barely put sentences together how to create an ebook in Wise Builders Business Community. I make it super simple. But the point of of why we start with a niche in an ebook is because many people don't take enough time
Hmm.
to really think through the lens of hospitality about like because really picking a niche and the ebook and all that comes with it is all about intentionality,
Yeah.
getting specific. I always teach if you're broad, you're broke, but if you're specific, you'll have sales.
Hmm.
And it's the fastest way to grow your social media is being specific. It's the fastest way to get your product out there is to be specific. And and through just some practices of hospitality and intentionality, which I think are the same,
Yeah.
um, you do all the think work up front that launches books and launches courses and launches the content for your community, that launches the content for your social media. And yeah, it's just a really important truth that if you're going to do this well, if you're going to do anything well, you've got to stop trying to shoot at targets randomly and you got to get specific. And the way you get specific is start thinking through the lens of hospitality, which is okay, how can I serve my ideal customer well?
And that's the thing with the story I was bringing about that businessman because he was trying to shoot multiple targets
Right.
when just focused on what he wanted to do through those ads. it would have a very different story. It would be
Yeah.
more successful. And that's the thing with the Ritz Carlton. Their niche is luxury.
Yep. Yep.
No matter how you perceive it or how you see it, that's going to be their niche.
Yep.
And they're so good at it that they don't even advertise anymore. Like their name is so well established. People know them so well. They have their customers' loyalty and they keep coming back.
Yep.
What they spend on advertising is very minimum. It's through their website
Yep.
and Merit's website because they don't need to advertise. They don't need to tell people who they are. People know who they are, and that keeps bringing them back over and over, making millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah, that's true.
Same thing with Disney. When you see an ad from Disney, it's not gonna be like multiple ads in television and that. No, it's probably a deal here, a deal there for you to come. That's it.
Yeah. They're not even trying to tell you about their company. They're just saying, "Hey, we got a special offer for
That's
you.
it.
Just come on down." You
Come on
know.
now. You know you gonna get it. And
Yep.
even the deal is gonna cost you probably $10,000 for 4 people. That's the truth. But you
Yep.
pay it.
Yep.
And that's without all the things that you spend in the park. That's just to get you in there.
Yeah. Yeah. True.
When you're in, this is the average amount what people spend in Disney is $10,000.
Yep.
A
Yep.
family of four staying at the cheapest resort, going to the 4 parks one time, it's probably gonna be $10,000. And that's their cheapest price point. Imagine how much you could sell. Because this is the thing, we cannot sell things thinking, oh, this is too expensive or too cheap, because you cannot think with people's wallets. People are going to spend the money no matter how, they're just going to spend it.
Yep.
Now, is your intentionality and hospitality that's going to bring them to spend their money with you.
Yeah.
And that's what you need to understand.
Right.
Like, I know at the beginning of creating a business, it's kind of difficult setting price points and, am I selling this too cheap? Am I selling this too expensive? And yeah, you need to do your homework. But what you really need to do is establish your brand, establish your name, establish that confidence, because that's going to make you, instead of selling $100 courses, you can sell $1,000 courses.
Yep.
Instead of selling to small business people, you can start selling to corporations.
Right.
And that is the gradual movement that we need to have in our mentality. But that comes from our visionary mindset. That comes from what are my goals. If you
Yep.
don't have those goals as well, you cannot serve well, because
Right.
goals will set up your intentionality.
That's right.
And it's not about money. It's about how many people you want to reach, how many people you want to serve, how many people, like, how well do you really want to solve this problem that you want to become viral?
Mhm.
You want to become that name that people will remember whenever they think about that problem,
Yep.
because that's what all these companies are doing. And I keep mentioning all these big companies because they made it.
Yeah.
You
They
know,
weren't always big.
no,
They started a lot of these companies started in garages and with a single small building.
exactly.
Like they started just like everybody else starts. If you look at Amazon, started in the garage. Mattel Toys started in a garage.
Hmm.
Walt Disney, the company, started in like a small garage with some artists and illustrators.
Yeah.
Um, like they all started just like we did. I remember I remember one time, um, somebody was complaining, they had a coffee shop and they were complaining because Starbucks had just moved into town. And, it's like these big corporate companies come in and mess with us little companies. And I'm like, well, you do realize like and that's the wrong mindset to have because you do
Absolutely.
realize that Starbucks started with a single coffee shop like every other small coffee shop
Hmm.
did. So rather than saying they're going to come in and do XYZ, and destroy a small company, I'm like, maybe you should learn from them and implement it. And there's always more to go around.
Absolutely.
Here's the cool part about business if you have the right mindset. When competition moves in, it actually increases your profits.
Hmm.
It's like I saw a video the other day, and it was like there's a reason why you see this restaurant come in and this restaurant come in right beside of it. Both of those companies do that on purpose. And because here's the deal, they've ran the numbers of what a McDonald's does when it's standalone, and then they've ran the numbers when McDonald's is beside of a Burger King,
Yeah.
and both of their businesses explode
Hmm.
because of the competition. I know that sounds
Absolutely.
crazy,
It is true.
but we've got to get out of the poverty mindset that somebody's going to come in and take what we have.
Hmm.
And we've got to get in an abundance mindset that says there's more than enough. There's more than enough people. There's more than enough resources.
Yeah.
And there are some people that don't want their coffee double burnt at Starbucks and they want good craft coffee from a place that's smaller.
Yes.
And like maybe what Starbucks will do for the smaller craft company is make people realize they want coffee that's not double burnt. And like and you've got a whole nother customer base because there's got to be something better out there. You got to have this abundance mindset. You can learn from these companies. Remember, they started small just like you.
Yeah.
And so like pay attention, learn, grow, do something better. Take one of their ideas and make it better.
Exactly.
But I love what you're saying. Back to what you're saying a minute ago, you can like make a lot of money in different ways. But the way you increase the value of your products is
Hmm.
to increase the how much value you bring to the product.
Absolutely.
How much, and basically what that number boils down to is the level of hospitality you've put in your product. And that's like a tweetable statement right there, where it's like the value of your product is based upon how much hospitality you invested into your product. How much intentionality did you go into to think about your ideal customer's problem so that when they show up for your course, you've not only thought about the obvious pain points and the obvious struggles that they have, but you're even helping them discover angles of that problem they never even thought of themselves. And
Exactly.
they go, "Oh my gosh, like, thank you so much. I didn't even see that." Like, that's an incredible this is what I get in coaching all the time. When I'm coaching people, they're like, "Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. I didn't see that." You're and a lot of times you're only revealing what's right in front of their face. A lot of times you're only you're showing them how to look at something they've been looking at for a long time, but they didn't see how it worked. And you're
Hmm.
helping them connect dots. And so like your price of the products that you offer is totally dependent on the amount of hospitality you put into your business.
Yeah. It's so true.
That's what it boils down to. And that's why Ritz-Carlton charges their prices that they charge, and the Holiday Inn Express has their charge. And I've stayed in both. I'm not knocking Holiday Express, but it's
No.
not a Ritz-Carlton.
Exactly.
The level of hospitality is different.
Hmm.
I would say this about Disney. There's a reason why m Disney has done what it's done compared to a Kings Island, you know?
Hmm.
Because there's a different level of intentionality that's put into the so it's like people are not going to Kings Island. I don't know if you even know what that is, but it's a roller coaster park. Or let's
I
use Six Flags. Six Flags. There's a reason why Six Flags doesn't have resorts and all kinds of things around it because they've only invested a certain amount of to a certain level of hospitality.
Hmm.
But Disney has worlds and I mean, like you want to talk about intentionality. Orlando worked at Disney for several years, and I remember when you told me, "Mark, you've got to go check out Pandora World in the
Yeah.
Animal Kingdom." And you're like, "You got to go see it." It's 10 acres of property that they put $1.3 billion into.
Just 1.3 billion.
$1.3 billion put into 10 acres, and you are in awe of it
Yeah.
when you're there, especially at night when the lights go
Hmm.
down
Hmm.
and that place starts glowing like in the actual movie Avatar, and you're just like, "Oh my gosh." Not to mention the drinks and the food are fantastic in Pandora World,
Everything.
everything. But the reason why they can charge their ticket prices, reason why they can charge for souvenirs and food and all those things is because of the level of hospitality and excellence and intentionality that they've put into their product. So
Hmm.
if you're watching this today and you're like, "Mark, I want to sell high ticket, I want to sell valuable products." Well, you will make money based upon the level of hospitality you're willing to invest into your ideal customer. That's what it boils down to.
That's the key. about everything in business. That's why you have a company like this that dominate in a way. Like, let's put a more known company. Universal doesn't dominate.
Right.
They're right across from
Right.
them. They have hotels, they have parks, they have products, but they don't dominate people's mindset and decision making because they're not as intentional as Disney is.
Yep.
That's what it comes down to.
Yep.
And it's not that Universal is bad. No, Universal is great. Great rides. You're going to have fun with your family. But when you're thinking, where do I stay? I'll choose Disney 100% of the time.
Yep.
Why? Intentionality, hospitality. And that's the difference.
I've literally gone to Florida and preached at churches
Hmm.
that were 45 minutes away or an hour, even an hour away, but I would stay at Disney. I would
Yeah.
pay with my own money to
Hmm.
stay there
I remember.
just because. Or one time we went down for a graduation at a university down there for a friend of ours, and I took a group of friends with me, and we all stayed at Disney. And I was like, "We're going to Disney. We're going to eat at Boma at the Animal Kingdom
That's it.
Lodge.
That's
We're
it.
going to do that." And like they're like, "Mark, you really love Disney." I'm like, "Well, if you've never been there, you don't know what I'm talking
Exactly.
about. You think it's a kid's place." But like when I took him in, checked him into the hotel, and they're walking through the lobby and they're looking and they see how the employees acted the moment we pulled up to the resort, and they're watching how the service is in the restaurant, and they're going, "Oh my gosh." Do you remember the time we took my friend Bryn to the Animal Kingdom for the first time? Bryn was like, "Man, Disney's just a kid place, blah, blah, blah." Whatever. So I took him. I said, one day we're going to go to Disney Springs. And then we went to a graduation. And I said, but before we go home, we're going to go to Animal Kingdom Lodge or Animal Kingdom. And you met us there.
Yeah.
I got a picture of it somewhere.
Yeah.
And I just remember him walking around, and I know what's going to happen. I know every time, you know, granted, if you've got 2 little ones that are, like, below the age of 5, like,
Hmm.
can you have a good time at Disney? Yes. Is it gonna be absolutely tiresome? Yes. Are your kids gonna get cranky, hot, sweaty,
Oh
nasty?
yeah.
Yes, it's gonna
Hmm.
happen. But let's take all of that aside, and let's just talk about, like, just taking a person in that thinks it's just a kid place, a grown adult. I know what's gonna happen every time. If they can actually go in and enjoy it, a lot of people don't like Disney because of the hustle of trying to get your family through a park you don't know.
Yeah.
But if you just take adults through and they just get to enjoy it, they're going to love the food, the hospitality, the every amenity that is available to Disney, the intentionality. They fall in love with it every time. I've never taken people to Disney because of you. You took me to Disney enough
Hmm.
where I'm like, I know my way around. I know how to do
Yeah.
things or
Yeah.
whatever. Now I can take and like I treat it like it's my job. I'm like, you're gonna have an amazing time. We're gonna make sure you do everything you want to do, and we're gonna eat here, and we're gonna do this. And they walk away going, "Oh my god, like it's amazing." Now I want to say this last point, but the another part of why every time I've taken somebody to Disney and they fell in love with it was because I know the hospitality you invested into me when I went there,
Hmm.
and I put that same intentionality when I take people there.
Exactly.
So, let me just say to the Walt Disney World, you should pay me good money. I've spent a lot of good money there, and, I've also taken a lot of people there. But no, it's just, yeah, that level of hospitality is what makes or breaks a business, what makes somebody love something or hate something.
Hmm.
It's all on hospitality.
And I think, going by what you're saying, right? That experience of seeing somebody feeling that
Yeah.
is what really sells you into the whole
Yeah.
thing.
Sure.
Because yes, I've taken many people to Disney. I've seen their faces. Like,
Yeah.
one of my favorite stories is when we took your daughter, Eliana. She was about 10 months old, but she's standing in front of that castle. The way that her face lighted up, it was worth it. The
Yeah.
whole trip was worth it just to see that face.
Yeah.
And I feel we can translate that same feeling into business
That's right.
because through hospitality, we can create those feelings to come back to any product,
That's right.
to any service, to
Yeah.
anything that we do. Because this doesn't mean that Disney is the only place that they can do it. No, it's just they perfected that methodology, that intentionality into creating those moments.
That's right.
Like when they train you as an employee in Disney, they say create magical moments. That's their focus in their training. You create magical moments for people. Why? Because those memories, that nostalgia, that sentiment that comes through hospitality is what keeps selling people for years and
It's true.
generations to come.
Very, very, very true.
And that's exactly what we want to teach you through this course of Mastering Digital Hospitality. We want to teach you how to create these moments, how to create this intentionality, how to create this welcoming experience that keeps bringing people back. And you're not going to have to be struggling like this businessman that I met, that he was overpaying ads to bring new clients every time. When if he would have focused on creating a good email list,
Very true.
those clients will keep selling their product without him even paying.
That's right.
Because when you like something, you speak to people about it.
Yep.
It doesn't matter what it is. Could be this, it could be Apple, could be
Yep.
anything that we talked about. If you like a company, you keep going back, you keep
That's right.
buying from them, and they have your loyalty because they have tapped into your subconscious decision making. That is the psychology of sales 101.
That's right.
That's what all this company uses. I'm teaching you part of it on this course. And this is so powerful because it can make your online presence resonate with these big companies without having the budget
Right.
that these big companies have.
Right.
Because, like we said, all these companies started in a garage.
Yep.
All these companies started with a simple idea, with a simple product, but they became obsessed in solving problems,
That's right.
in serving people.
That's right.
And that's the mindset behind hospitality. The way we treat our families when they come at our home, it doesn't come because we want money from them. It doesn't come because we want them there sometimes,
Sure.
but it's because they're family. It's because they belong to us and we belong to them. And that's a part of hospitality that people don't understand. You need to treat people the same way you want to be treated because everywhere you go, you want to be treated the same.
Right.
And that is the root of all hospitality, is how you treat people the same way you want to be treated, which is actually a biblical
Yeah.
foundation of
Imagine
things.
that.
Imagine that, right?
Like the
I
creator
think God
knew.
had it when he said that.
Yeah, it's like he wrote the user manual or something.
Yeah, right. So yeah, I mean, I am so honored that being able to create this course for wise builders, and it's because I see the value of wise
Mhm.
builders, not only for entrepreneurs, but for corporations, for people who have businesses already that have been struggling for years.
Mhm.
You need to keep reinventing yourself.
Yeah, it's true.
And the way you do that is by learning.
That's right.
So not only watch this course, but hire coaching services
Yes.
is so important. Everybody has a coach.
Everybody.
Even Tony Robbins had a coach.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody had a coach because we all need that knowledge and none of us know it. And yes, you have a world of information in Google, but if you don't know what to type in there, you'll never find out what you really need to find out. And that's why you need a coach.
Yep.
And that's why you need somebody to lead you through social media. That's why you need somebody to lead you through hospitality. It's because you need to know the answers that are actually going to help your business.
That's right.
Because you know how many books of hospitality are out there, of leadership, of management? Thousands, maybe
Yeah.
millions.
Yeah.
Go to Amazon, you're probably gonna
Yeah.
be reading for years.
Yeah.
But
John
what
Maxwell's wrote a million of them.
him alone, right? But imagine somebody who could tell you, well, instead of reading 100 books, why don't you focus on this one?
Yeah.
This is the one that you need for your
Yeah.
business.
Yeah.
Instead of trying 150 strategies that are out there, why don't
Uh-huh.
you focus on these two that are actually tailored for your business?
That's right.
And that's why you need a coach. And that's why people in wise builders need to understand that it's not only about learning all these courses, and it's great. That's a good starting point.
Yeah.
But when it comes to your specific business, you're going to need more specific help, and that comes through coaching.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to sell you coaching, I'm telling you how important coaching it is.
Yeah. Well, it is important and it needs to be sold more. Like I don't know anybody that is truly
Yeah.
successful that didn't have a mentor or a coach. And the cool part is in Wise Builders business community, we obviously have the curriculum. If you sign up for Wise Builders, $97 a month can teach you how to make thousands of dollars a month.
Yeah.
So it's a very small investment compared to the fruit if you'll do what we tell you to do. And you get one coaching session a week. Okay. But we are putting together a new offer, which is Wise Builders Inner Circle. And this is
Hmm.
brand spanking new. So, like, this is like an announcement here where you get access to Wise Builders business community, plus you get 3 coaching calls a week, one for marketing and sales, one for the technical side of things, like setting up Kajabi, setting up school,
Hmm.
how to do sales funnels, like how to practically do them.
Yeah.
And then you have a call with me every single week where I am teaching, investing, and coaching into your business. And we're going to do something super ridiculous for the first 50 people that want to sign up. It's a $5,000 group coaching offer. We're going to make it available to the first 50 people that reach out to us. You can reach out to us in the comments below. You can send me a DM on
Hmm.
Instagram or Facebook. We're going to give that away for the first 50 people at $1,000.
Come on, man.
Yeah, and because I know what's gonna happen. It's gonna explode. Testimonies are gonna be amazing, and we're here to start an entrepreneurial revolution.
Absolutely.
Um, God has given us the power to create wealth. Many people have never tapped into that reality, and we're helping people tap into it.
Hmm.
There's so much God-given potential inside of every human being on the planet, and we're helping them tap into that and show them how to do it. But also, if you jump into Wise Builders, his course is inside of that. And there's information inside of Wise Builders for how you can connect with Orlando to coach you in hospitality, right? You put that
Absolutely.
in there.
Yeah.
Like you can hire Orlando. For those of you that have businesses already established, listen, you will 10x your revenue if you get this kind of coaching and implement hospitality into your business. And so I encourage you, we're both coaching people in different aspects of the digital business. Hire one of us, jump into Wise Builders business community, join this inner circle program, get in there today. I'm telling you, 12 months from now, your life's going to look radically different.
Absolutely. Because what people don't realize is like all these people that are making a lot of money, they have coaches behind them.
100%.
And let's make something even more intentional. Why a businessman like Warren Buffett, why a businessman like Tony Robbins are going to concentrate in this kind of business is because it's one of the fastest growing businesses online right now, over 100 billion. It's expected to pass $100 billion either this year or the beginning of next year. It's because the digital revolution is where the money's at right
Yeah,
now.
that's true.
And that's why Mark is taking all this time to create all these courses and everything that he does. That's why I'm taking my time
Yep.
to do this as well. Is because we know that, first of all, that's where the money is. Second, that we really want to serve people into becoming great entrepreneurs. Because speaking from a kingdom mindset, we are called to lead. We are
Yeah.
called to be, the lenders and not the borrowers.
Right.
We are called to be the people who enlighten the others. And the
Yeah.
best way we can do that in a practical way is through business.
That's right.
You know, Coca-Cola, I know you know this story, but they use the gospel according to Coca-Cola,
Right.
right?
Right. Right.
And what they did is they made Coca-Cola so famous around the world that they became the most viral company in the world.
Yep.
Now think about that for a minute. The most viral company in the world is Coca-Cola.
Hmm.
You can go to tribes of Indians and they know who
Yeah.
Coca-Cola is.
Never heard the gospel, but they've drank a Coke.
And that is that intentionality that we're talking
Hmm.
about.
Yep.
Reaching the
Yep.
furthest parts of the world through business
Yep.
is not only possible but necessary.
That's right.
And if we really want to advance the gospel, we need to start with business.
That's right.
That's what Paul did.
It's
Like,
true.
everybody know about the teachings of Paul, but did you know that he had a business? He used to build tents. And everywhere he
Yes.
go, and when he wasn't preaching, he was building tents, and he was selling, and he was doing business, and he was socializing
So true.
with the people that he preached to. And
Very
that's the
true.
thing. We cannot focus just on the gospel without thinking that we need to do life with people.
Yeah.
And that's something that I've learned recently, and I know you're probably learning that as well. But living life with people is as important as to having a church service,
Oh
because
my
you
gosh.
can reach more people that will never go to church but will hear you. And that's the thing. To me, business is not only about making money, but it's about establishing a legacy. It's
That's right.
about socializing. It's about going outside of my comfort zones to reach people that I would normally wouldn't do.
That's right.
And that comes through hospitality, first
That's
of
right.
all. And second, by my intentionality of serving people. And third, because I really, in the most depth part of my heart, I really want to serve people.
Right. Right.
And if you have that desire, you will be able to do it through hospitality, through business, and through everything that we're teaching you here.
Business is service.
Yeah.
And it's hospitality. There's no way to separate the two.
Exactly.
There's just not. And then Jesus said, the greatest among us is what? The servant of all. I have been preaching the gospel, OJ, for 19 years now.
Yeah.
And I've posted social media content for years, done all those things. But when I shifted into the business world, within like 2 months of changing that and making that decision on my social media profile, I went from 3,800 people to now almost 180,000 people in
Mhm.
2 months.
Yeah.
So 2 months ago, I made that shift. Now we're 2 months in,
Mhm.
and so 4 months process. So from 3,800 to now almost 180,000 people that follow us online, because I'm not just preaching or teaching something,
Mhm.
but I'm showing up to serve people,
Absolutely.
and the results are tremendous. I believe that if you're a kingdom person, you should be in the business world on some level, doing something to bring value to people. So, man, I appreciate you sharing this. And again, I want to encourage you to join Wise Builders Business Community today. Jump in, check out his course on mastering the art of digital hospitality, but also get his information, because he has coaching available and other products available that I know could really be a blessing to you. And little teaser here, we may be having Wise Builders Spanish edition coming in the
Ooh.
future. And so for all of our Hispanic friends that are watching this, get your family members and friends ready, because we are starting to translate this. And not I'm not talking about you looking at me and you watch my mouth and Spanish is coming over top of it. OJ is going to be taking on the Hispanic side of this. And so we're super excited to see that. And so if you want to be a part of this entrepreneur revolution, if you want to learn how to quit trading hours for dollars and start actually building wealth, then sign up for Wise Builders Business Community. And if you're on the fence and you're like, I'm just not sure about this, well, guess what? Go take that free webinar, get started with that. And by the end of that, I believe you'll be ready to sign up and join us in Wise Builders Business Community. All right, guys, God bless you. Thank you for joining us today on the podcast, and we'll look forward to getting connected with you next week for another episode of Wise Builders. Thanks, OJ.
Thank you.